Oh, hi there. How's everybody today? It's Monday morning. Goodness sakes. And it looks like we're starting out with fireworks. Well, that's good. I like fireworks. I've been over in Discord this morning. In fact, I kind of got sidetracked because it got real interesting over there. And I decided that, I started responding and then realized, we were right down to the wire time-wise. So I jumped over here. Maybe we'll get into some of that. I do want to apologize to those people who were in here last night asking questions, and we never got around to a lot of them. So I want to really focus today on the chat and make sure that you guys are driving what happens here. I sort of got off and onto a tangent yesterday, but we'll try not to do that today. So, hello, Naresh. Nice to see you. Ilyuta. Ilyuta is here every morning, an hour or more before anybody else, or before we even start. Delighted to see you, Ilyuta. Oh, who else? Roman Chirac. Hey, Roman. Nice to see. Excuse me. Nice to see you. 3G. T-Bone. Happy birthday, T-Bone. We celebrated your birthday last Wednesday, and you didn't show up. So go back and watch the beginning of last Wednesday's video where everybody is wishing you a happy birthday. Mermaids Chorus. Hello, Mermaids Chorus. Mermaids Chorus said she's going to start setting up a fish channel, so we're excited about that. Roger Salmon. Hi, Roger. Gordon Hayes. Good morning from Abilene, Texas. Spreading the word on dirty deep substrate tanks whenever I get the opportunity. Bravo, Gordon. Good job. Mains, tails, fern fins. Hi, Jess. Good morning to you. Maple Street. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to have you with us. So we've got a nice crowd in here of good people. We always have good people coming in. It's always fun. Roger, I set up 2 more tanks, Father Fish method, and are absolutely shiny. Shiny, is it? Nice. Shiny. Now, we had some people who had an interesting conversation. If you have not gotten onto Discord, please do so. You'll find that this conversation goes on over there 24/7 in about 10 different formats. It's just amazing. So many people coming on, a lot of new people now who have made real commitments to working with us. So we're very excited about that. Hurricane Aquatics. It's evening where you are. Where are you, Hurricane? Nice to see you. Hurricane Aquatics. We're going to turn you blue, Hurricane. Everybody gets to be blue on Father Fish's live streams. Oh, T-Bone says, I snuck out to a mate's place while in lockdown on Wednesday. Sorry I wasn't here. I'm so happy for you, T-Bone. I know it must have devastated you to be locked up on your birthday. So glad you were able to get out and be with a friend. That's really the best thing you could have done. It's really all about. That's what it's really all about. And our wishes for you, you can go back and watch when you turn 100, they'll still be here, and many more besides. So glad you were able to be with a friend. Taiwan, Hurricane Aquatics is in Taiwan. Oh my, how wonderful. Gee whiz, there's so many exciting things happening in the Pacific Rim, having to do with fish. I mean, it's in many ways the center of the industry. All of the super duper fancy arowanas, discus, guppies, golly day, what else? So many things. There's so many really extraordinary fish. Bettas certainly coming out of the Pacific Rim. Taiwan chief among them. So what a wonderful place to be. I have never been. I have never visited. Let me tell you a little story. Merle Cohen. Merle owned aquarium products. He founded it. He started a little store back when I was a kid in the 1950s called the Aquarium. It was down on Greenmount Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland. And I used to go there all the time and visit that shop. It was wonderful. It was rows and rows of fish tanks. Little tiny place. Wasn't big at all. 3 tiers of tanks, might have been 4. I think 1 low, 2, 3. Yeah, I believe it was 4 tiers of tanks. 1, 2, a double row in the middle, and a row on each wall. Front of the store to the back of the store. In the back of the store was a glass case that had a few little things in it, really not much, an air pump, a couple of filters, some food. That was it. But boy, did they have fish. Saltwater and freshwater. Back in the 50s, they had saltwater fish. I was talking to Merle once, got to know him, knew him through most of my adult life until he passed about, I guess, 15 years ago. He talked about a trip he took to, where in the world was it? It wasn't Taiwan. I have to look at my map. Wasn't Cambodia, north of Cambodia. Golly day, it'll come to me. Anyway, he visited a fish farm because he was very curious to know how they were breeding neon tetras. Because back then, this was in the 60s, people had been trying and trying and trying and just couldn't do it. So he finally got out to a farm where they were breeding it. And he talked to the owner and said that he wanted to learn how to do this. So the farmer sent him out to a part of the farm where there was a huge long row of tanks, several tiers of tanks, vats on the bottom, smaller tanks on the top. That was probably 100 yards long, tank after tank after tank after tank. And there was a little child, on a platform who was walking up and down that platform with a little net. And he went over there with his interpreter and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm breeding the neons." "What? How are you doing that?" He said, "Well, look, see, there's one skinny one and one fat one." And that was it. A skinny one and a fat one. They did this late in the day, and then the next morning when he was back there, he was taking them out. And there were eggs on the bottom. And they hatched the eggs, fed them microscopic paramecium. They developed paramecium culture. It's a very popular common food for baby fish. That's all there was to it. A skinny one and a fat one. Skinny one and a fat one. Put them together. You do enough of them, you're going to get eggs in a few 100 times what you started with. And that was the system. So, it's not always complicated and sophisticated. Sometimes it's as simple as a skinny one and a fat one. Oh, Detroit Shrimp. Hello, hello. Heading into work he is. Have a great day, Detroit. Nice to see you. PH Fish. Hi there. Hurricane said it's hard to keep up with the advances. Wonderful people and great country. I'll bet you. Boy, wouldn't it be exciting to be there? Gordon Hayes, Bangladesh. I don't know what he's referring to. Taiwan is, I don't know. I don't know, Gordon. What are you referring to, Gordon? Cyrilia. Cyrilia, hello, hello. Nice to see you. Hurricane, was that not Hong Kong? I know a few decades ago, they were sometimes referred to as Hong Kong Tetras. No, it was not Hong Kong. And my brain's just not, oh no, it wasn't Bangladesh. Oh, Thailand. Thailand. It was Thailand. I've had a number of friends from Thailand who were natives from Thailand. In fact, I once bought a string of pink pearls that were bought at a market in Thailand. I think I paid $60. This was many years ago. Gave them to my then wife, who still has them. She had them appraised a few years ago. They appraised out at about $3,000 or $4,000. Just exquisite, pink, graded pink pearls that were all the same. I don't think they were different shapes, but just exquisite. And the woman who had them, she went over to, I lost the name again. Lord, my brain is bad this morning. I haven't eaten anything. I think that's the problem. I need to get some sugar in my brain. Anyway, she went over. She used to go over every year and go to the markets and buy in the markets, then bring all this stuff back, and that was her business. So she was able to sell really quite exquisite things at a very low price, which today are worth just so much more money than they were then. Oh dear. All right. So I'm not getting any questions. Goodness sakes. Let me take a stab at something. We had something come up in Discord this morning. Someone posted a video that was done by, I almost hate to do this, but I really feel like I need to. It was posted by one of our participants on one of our new people actually on Discord, a video about fish disease that was done by Aquarium Co-op. And they said it was full of a lot of good ideas. So I listened to it. It was, I think, 8 minutes long. I listened about halfway through. I had to stop because I had to come over here. But there was no real information in it. It was a rehash of ideas and thoughts that have been kicking around the hobby for years and years. None of it really informed. None of it informed scientifically. None of it informed from a standpoint of really understanding what was going on. Let me give you an example. They were talking about shimmying and some of the other fungal diseases and so forth that happen to fish, particularly to live bears. Happens to all fish, but they were focusing on live bears. They talked about this as a problem having to do with pH, having to do with water hardness, all of that sort of stuff. And it doesn't. It does not have to do with any of those things. What it has to do with is very simple. It has to do with too much of this. It has to do with overfeeding. And what overfeeding does is it fouls the water. So the fish are living in foul water. It's dirty water. That's the problem. That's where you get all these diseases. It comes right out of this little can of food. Virtually, not all, not the parasitic certainly, but all of these shimmying diseases, all of these fungal diseases, all of these diseases where fish are getting sicker and sicker. It's water conditions that cause it. How do you solve it? Well, I'm fond of saying, stop feeding your fish. Of course, that's not an absolute, but it is a relative absolute. If you will cut down your feeding to once every 2 days, that's maximum. You do not need to feed your fish more than once every other day. And don't feed them great, huge amounts. Feed them very small amounts. If you have your tank set up in such a way that it's generating biomass, it's generating microfauna, which is little microscopic life, then those fish, if you have small fish under 2 inches, under 3 inches, they're going to be foraging in that tank. They'll be picking up mouths full of whatever's on the bottom and chewing it up and finding food in it and spitting the sand out. You need to use sand, number one. You need to have some kind of humus, something that's breaking down on the surface of it. The substrate itself needs to be deep enough that waste detritus can sift down into it and feed the plants. I mean, there's some basic things you need to do, and if you will do those basic things, you're not going to have these kinds of problems. So the problem is not finding a medication. The medication is not going to solve the problem. The medication may clear up the disease, or may not, but it may, but it's not going to solve the problem. The problem is, number one, you've got probably gravel in your tank. Number two, you're putting too much food in your tank. And by too much, I mean, think of it this way. When a fish eats, it swallows its food, it dissolves its food, digests its food, and it poops out the waste. What's in that waste? 90% of the food value of what it ate is in that waste. 90%. It digests maybe 10%. Somebody's talking to me. Let's see who this is. Father Fish. Hello.
You're calling because you should have received several notifications in the mail about your car's extended warranty.
Oh, dear God. I tried to talk with them about this. They won't talk to me. I really very much want to be able to get an extended warranty on my car. But when I tell them it's a 1995 Ford, they hang up. They just hang up. They're so rude. They won't even talk to me. Oh, well. So now I hang up on them. What are you going to do? Hello, Whips World. Nice to see you. Let's see. I've lost track of what I was saying. High-rise window cleaner. So we'll just go back here to the chat. I loaded my 125 with creek mud, leaves, and sticks. Fish are more active and colors are popping. It's absolutely remarkable what happens when you put your fish in a natural environment, when you find a way to create the most natural environment you can. It's amazing what happens. It completely changes the fish's behavior. For one thing, they start foraging because they're finding food in it. So they begin acting much more normally, much more the way they would if they were in the wild. Patricia Powers says, I feed my nano fish once a week and they're just fine. Good morning, by the way. Good morning to you, Patricia. Absolutely. You do not need to dump food in that tank 2-3 times a day. Once every other day, Patricia feeds once a week. I typically feed a little bit about every third day, maybe twice a week in a tank that I'm feeding. And right now I'm feeding pretty much everything because I'm trying to get this food web built up. It's not where I want it to be yet. Gordon Hayes, modern medicine masks the symptoms rather than healing the disease. That's part of it. The other part of it is getting to what causes the disease. And that's the real problem. It's the modern medicine treats, it does treat symptoms. It may also treat the disease, but it doesn't treat the cause. It doesn't even look at the cause of the disease. And that's very much the issue with our fish tanks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the disease is if you're not fixing what is allowing the disease to take hold of your fish. You got to get behind it and figure out what's causing it. And no, it's not a lack of salt in the water. It's not the pH. It's not the hardness. Our fish can live in a huge wide range of pH and hardness. That's not the issue. The issue is if they're diseased, if they're sick, if they're unhappy, if they're shimmying, if they've got fungus on them, if they're wasting away, I guarantee you their water is rank. Their water is foul, and it's foul because there's so much food in there that the natural system can't handle it all, and it's slowly crashing. And it'll reach a point where it'll just fall down dead, and everything in it with it. Naresh says, you know perfectly well why. Very interesting. Let me back. What is he referring to? I don't know. He's posted a link for a video. Don't know which one it is. Hurricane Aquatics. We condition water with seasoned botanicals and add that during water changes. It's amazing how the fish go nuts, pecking on everything. Right, seasoned botanicals, what does that mean? It means humus, humic acid. It means leaves. It means things that contain a lot of microfauna and microflora, microscopic life. It means things that flora and microfauna feed on. It means all of the things that create life in the tank. They create life in the tank because it's that life that's the foundation of stability and health. If you have that, you have a healthy tank because it wouldn't be able to live otherwise. Gordon says, I agree on getting to the root cause. And that's really the issue. No profit in cures, New England Ender. Well, that's kind of the problem, isn't it? You know, we have an industry that's built up around making sure your fish are sick. Because if they're sick, then you've got to buy our medications. But they never teach you how to keep your fish from getting sick in the first place, do they? No, they just teach you how to use their chemicals. And what their chemicals do is create an environment that cannot support life because it kills everything. It's such a backward approach. And it's really all based on making money. It really is. It's just based on finding ways to extract dollars from hobbyists. And it's so wrong. It's just so wrong. It's why I have trouble, real serious trouble, with some of these people in the industry who are touted as brilliant and geniuses. What they're geniuses at is making a lot of money. And they make a lot of money by setting up conditions that require people to spend money. Or at least that's the system the pipeline they've created. Oh, you have this problem, buy this. Well, buying that never solves that problem. It never gets to the root cause of it. It might get rid of the fungus, but it's not going to get to the root of what caused the fungus. So that's what we're about here. We're about old school stuff, and we're about the most advanced science. Let me say something about this that's really important. And I mentioned this last night. You'll find it over on Discord. We have a group of people over there who are research graduate students, who are master's degree and PhDs in biology, marine biology, and several in agronomy, which is studying plants and soils. That provides enormous input to the tropical fish industry and to our maintaining aquariums, because it teaches us to care about and be concerned about the substrate, just as they're concerned about the soil that plants are growing in. It's the same science, a few differences because aquatic are different from terrestrial. But I've got this group of people over there that are researching, finding research, informing me, talking with each other, struggling with issues, learning how to do things. It is, what would you call it? It's a think tank. It's a think tank that is applying techniques, applying practices to improve our ability to maintain balanced natural aquariums. Those guys keep me in check. I don't say anything. If I say something on here that's out of line, I hear about it. I get corrected. So when you hear Father Fish saying something, making a statement about a condition in your tank or whatever, that's not just me blowing off steam. It's informed opinion based on the very best, most advanced research that's available today. We really are cutting edge with this. We're right out there in front, doing things and talking about things and trying to develop things that frankly nobody else is doing. Well, there are individuals who are smart enough to have been doing this for years. And we've got them coming in, sharing with us, being part of this. But there's also a lot of really, really good science that's going on right now that is researching and learning what it is that causes bodies of water to be healthy. That's what we're studying. That's what we're learning about. And that's what we're trying to find ways to duplicate that. Whip's World. I wish I had heard this method 6 months ago. For the first time, my goldfish survived an Illinois winter. Why? Leaf litter. I always clean it out in the fall. This year I waited till the spring. Now I regret I did. Green Machine Sweden. Regret you did what? Wait or clean it out in the fall? I assume it means clean it out in the fall. You might want to clarify what you're saying with. I think we know, but I think we need a little clarification. Green Machine Sweden. Hello, hello. I am delighted to see you. If you have not visited Machine Sweden, please do so. Just a remarkable channel with some of the most fascinating and wonderful videos, research, and in many ways experimental quality, if you will, that's going on anywhere. Just remarkable. Check out Green Machine Sweden. Make sure you sign up. Become a part of his community. It's certainly well worth spending time there. Paul C. Hello, Paul C. Nice to see you. Patricia Powers, Discord is my knowledge center, and I rely on it heavily. I'll tell you what, it's utterly remarkable. It's amazing what's happening over there. I mean, we have a body of people, a growing body of people who are very serious aquarists, some of whom are very serious scientists. They're graduate students and master's students and PhDs who are plugging into our little discussions over there and adding enormously to the conversation. It's just wonderful. T-Bone says, my local fish store didn't sell anything to me when a couple of my tetras got ick. They said not to waste my money on medication. Well, if they told you to turn your temperature up to 86 degrees, about 30 Celsius, they were right. Because that's all you need to do to get rid of it. Set the temperature up to 30 C to 86 degrees. The ick will go away. In 24 hours, it'll be gone. Leave it there for 2 days and then bring it back down. You don't need any kind of medication. You need to create a condition in which the ick, which is a cold water parasite, can no longer function. Drops to the bottom, disappears. Naresh, your aquarium should be your joy. I think that was the video. Color Guppies. Hello, Color Guppies. Happy to see you. Nice to have you with us. We are so excited about you moving to Florida and just really looking forward to getting up and visiting when you do. Bobby Etufan, new sub here, loving the content. Thank you, Bobby. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Paul C. Good to have you with us. J-Dog. Hey, J-Dog. J-Dog I visited him. He lives north of me. His wife invited me up she's from Maryland, for a crab cake dinner. My heart's desire. It was wonderful. But I got a chance to see their tanks. And they're planted tanks, but they're very heavily planted with Java fern, Christmas moss, Java moss, Christmas moss. Just chock-a-block, full of it. Beautiful, beautiful tanks. J-Dog decided he wanted to do deep substrate. So he called me up yesterday morning and said, I hope I haven't done something wrong. And showed me, actually he posted it on Discord, showed a picture of his tank, which was a very light colored brown that was so deep that you could not see into the tank half an inch. I looked at that and I said, what did you do? Well, you told me to put sand in. I put a bag of play sand in. Well, suffice it to say, play sand has about 50% clay in it. It's the last thing you want to use. It needs to be cleaned out, and it's almost impossible to do it. So the problem got solved very quickly, though. He went out and bought a bag of black lasting sand from Tractor Supply, came back, drained the tank, pulled the fish and plants out, dumped the black sand in, refilled it, put the plants and decorations and fish back in, showed us a picture of it much later in the day last night. Exquisite, exquisite, just beautiful. So he took a catastrophe and turned it around almost immediately. Good job, Jadel. Green Machine Sweden is saying, trying to grow a few golden rud fry in an outdoor tub. Third attempt, I added my own compost and sand. Works as a dream, and fry grow good. There you have it. Create a natural substrate tank, and you will have a natural environment, not something that looks natural, but something that actually is natural. And there is a world of difference. There are a lot of really beautifully scaped tanks out there, and they really are beautifully scaped. But too many of them have no awareness at all of what it takes to make that tank a genuinely beautiful tank. I guess I need to answer the phone here. Let's see what this is. Father Fish. Hello. Gone. I'm not going to answer it anymore. It just gets me off track. Let's see. Green Machine says, Hurricane Aquatics. What are your thoughts on using hang-on guppy breeding boxes as freshwater refugiums? I've removed all inner grates and placed a layer of ceramic rings, small botanicals, and algae. I think it's great. I love it. Yeah, one of the benefits of it is you can raise scuds in it, for example. So you can have a lot of microscopic life in there, which as it escapes into the tank will get eaten up. So it's a food source. In addition to being a source that really grabs hold of the nitrates and pulls them out of the water. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. If you do just plants in that kind of a setup, the beads are really not of any particular value. It's a very small surface space for the volume that you're putting in there. It's kind of a waste. If you just load it up with plants, put a good light over it so you can keep it going. That will do more than anything else you can do to keep it really healthy and strong and to help balance out the whole tank. Wonderful idea. Absolutely love it. Mermaid's Chorus. Do you treat a saltwater resurrection jar the same way as fresh? I brought some ocean water and sand back from the beach trip over the weekend. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to do a thing different. Just put it on the windowsill and watch it. It will do the same thing. Now, depending on what's in that sand, if you got wet sand, live sand, if you will, that's going to make a big difference. If it's dry sand, you got off the beach and you've got the water, it'll take a while for things to begin happening, but be patient. It will. It'll work and you'll be astounded. It'll be wonderful. So yeah, nothing else you need to do. You don't need to aerate it, nothing like that. Just put it up there on the windowsill and let it go. Might go through a cycle before it really catches hold. So don't worry about it. Give it 30 days and see where it's at in 30 days. If it looks like it's crashing, just leave it alone. It's not gonna hurt itself. All it's doing is struggling with trying to achieve a balance. Just let it go. It'll teach you an awful lot. It really will. That was a great question, Mermaid's Chorus. We need to be doing so much more with saltwater. I now have Frank back, so we're going to get out as soon as he gets his vehicle and start collecting saltwater. I want to get pygmy seahorses for you guys. They're wonderful, and you will love them. They're just adorable. You can keep them in small containers very successfully. They're tiny. They're like an inch long, and they feed on microscopic food, the kind of stuff that Mermaid's Chorus is talking about growing up in his saltwater resurrection jar. J-Dog, really happy with it. My fish and shrimp seem to be as well. It's still a little cloudy. When will that settle out completely? Generally a day or two. It doesn't take long. You'll stop noticing it, and then when you go back and think about it, it'll be gone. Whips World says, I truly believe after listening to you that the leaf litter and muck at the bottom of the pond allowed the goldies to survive. Cleaning it out all these years is likely why they never survived before. You're probably right about that. You know, it maintained a stable environment. In the winter, carp and other cold water fish, if it's real cold, they'll just stay on the bottom. And at that bottom is an environment where they can be comfortable, where they can get a little bit of cover. They're not going to eat because their system can't digest anything. These are cold water animals. And so it doesn't help to have food in there. That's really not what's helping them. What's helping is that those leaves are providing cover. They're providing a safe environment. They're providing stability in terms of temperature, in terms of the water column and so forth. It's just like being in a nest, if you will. It's kind of a nest. And yeah, I can appreciate that they would do better in that. J-Dog says, could I have possibly started an algae bloom? There was an enormous amount of detritus in the gravel. Maybe. If you have, don't worry about it. It'll clear up all by itself. Wait and see. If it becomes a problem, then just cut back a little on your light. Let me show you. This tank turned bright green about, how long has it been? 3 weeks or so. I turned the lights off for a few days, and it gradually disappeared. Turned the lights back on. It's a balance thing, and it has balanced out. But look at this. Look at this. This is the beginning of some substantial leaf litter. I'm trying to get it built up, and these guys are spawning in here. That's a breeding pair. I haven't seen the babies yet, but they act like they're in there. There's so much cover, I can't find anything. I did see all of these guys, the little fish, down in here hunting the other day. So I suspect that if there were babies in there, they've gotten some. But with this much cover, some of them are going to survive. They're going to stay hidden until they can be big enough and fast enough to escape predation. So this is the beginning of what I'm trying to do with these. So I'm real excited about it. Gordon Hayes, I need to get my day started. Whoa, lost my camera here. Moving stuff from a garage to a shed. Well, good luck, Gordon. Don't hurt yourself. Catch you later. Nice to have you with us. 9:37. Let's see. Blackbirds, amazing animals and fishing. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Jay Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics. Good morning, good morning. Nice to have you with us, Jay Oliver's. I need to turn the fan on. I'll keep it down a little low so it doesn't hum so much. But that's what the noise in the background's going to be. It's getting a little muggy in here. I'm kind of in a corner, so I need to have air circulation. Jay Oliver said, hope everyone is doing well. You too, Jay Oliver. Let's see. Patricia Powers. Let me back up a little bit. All right, we'll just go from here. I'm at 9:39. If you're in before that and have a question, please post it again. I probably won't go back beyond that. Bates and Genetics is here. Hi, Bates, and nice to see you. Sorry if I'm missing anybody. When I get off on a rant or sidetracked, I miss a lot of what's going on. I try to catch up, but don't always. Red Eye Aquatics is asking, how much do you recommend feeding big fish such as a flower horn? Really good question, Red Eye. Gee whiz. First of all, there's the question of what you're feeding. I recommend, whenever possible, feeding live food, or at least food that has been live, like pieces of fish or shrimp, any kind of seafood. Worms are wonderful. Anything that's live or that is cut bait sort of thing is going to be preferable. How much? Try to feed a small portion every other day. That will keep the fish from starving. It will remain hungry. What do we know about fish being hungry? A hungry fish is a healthy fish. If it's hungry, it's healthy. If it's not hungry, it's sick. So keep your fish hungry. You don't want to starve them to death, but it's pretty hard to do that. You would have to not feed for months at a time for a fish to actually starve, particularly a larger fish. Little fish, a little bit. But larger fish, they've got so much reserve that they can go a long, long time. I've had fish go for a year with no food at all, larger fish. And what I found, I had a Jack Dempsey once. It flipped into a little 10-gallon tank on the floor, lost track of it. There was a ray of sun that came in there every day that created some algae. I found that fish in that tank a year later, and it was healthy and vibrant. It had been eating the algae that was growing in the tank. So it was eating a very tiny amount of food, but it was enough to keep it healthy. So fish really do not require very much food at all to stay healthy. Just cut back and cut back and cut back. The problem with overfeeding is not that they don't eat it, they do. It's that they poop out so much that becomes that fouls the water. You're creating, it's like it becomes a toilet. That's probably the best way to understand it. If you're overfeeding your fish, then you are consigning your fish to living in a toilet. And that's why they get sick. Really that simple. Blackbird, how's my morning? Pretty good. I'm feeling a little queasy. I was last night too. I think I need to eat something. I haven't eaten today. Patricia Powers. Will a watercolor algae bloom clear up on its own? Yes, it absolutely will. I have a 40 fish tank, but this has been going on for 3 weeks. have tons of plants too. Patience is needed. LOL. Yeah, cut back on your light. Um, it may simply be that you've got more light than the plants need. Algae is a secondary feeder. Also, look at ways in which you might have excess nitrogen and phosphate, nitrates and phosphates in your water column. Is there something that's causing that? Is perhaps dirt leaching in? Is there something else going on that's causing nitrates to be in the water column? Because lacking that, you're not going to get algae. So it's feeding on something. Try to figure out what it's feeding on. Whatever it is, it's more than the plants you have in their need because they grab it first. The algae grabs it last. Jesse wants to know if I got your text. No, I did not. Text on what? Phone? Let's see if it's here. You know, my problem is I don't know how to find text. I honest to God don't. Imgur verification code. Well, that ain't it. Frank, Andy, Richard. No, I don't have it on my phone. Where else would it be? Messenger? Don't see it there either. So don't know where you sent it, Jess. But I'm not finding it on my phone or on Messenger. Blackbirds, 942. Saying hello to Jesse. What else? Blackbird has a lot of algae bloom. Cut back on light and try to figure out what's causing it. It's there because there's excess nutrition in your water. So try to figure out what's causing the excess nutrition. Simply putting something in there to kill algae does not resolve the issue. Ruben loves your channel, Father Fish. Thank you, Ruben, very, very much. Green Machine just posted his link. Thank you for that. Hurricane Aquatics, got to feed the fish and head to bed. Well, good night, Hurricane. Delighted to have you with us. Come on back. Get over on Discord. There are a lot of people who are there all night long. You'll find a welcome crowd there when we're asleep and you're awake. Do I have algae bloom? Not currently, no. Let's see, 945, 46, 46. Just Ilyuta just started my resurrection jar 1 hour ago. In the morning, I went to pick up some banana worm culture a guy offered me for free and found a pond inside the city. I just picked up a jar of muck. Bravo, Ilyuta. Good for you. You're stepping out on a whole new adventure. And I love the banana worm. I need to get some going here. I don't have any of the larger worm, and I really need to do that. Blackbird just posted a new betta fish video. That's great. You know what we ought to do? I just posted one too. One of the guys over on Discord is trying to explain to me how we can do a consolidated series of videos on a given topic that come from a number of different YouTubers and post them in a I don't even know, what am I thinking about here? post them in a format that will allow us to share that with a playlist. Post them in a playlist. And then we share the playlist. Apparently, there's a way to share a whole playlist with someone else. If that playlist contains videos from a half a dozen YouTubers that are all a few minutes long about bettas or whatever, that becomes a great resource for someone who wants to get a number of different perspectives in a short period of time in a way that's really easy to kind of grab hold of. Great idea. We need to figure out how to make that happen. But yeah, I'm excited about doing just that. We are getting down. What are we at? 9:56, almost 10 o'clock. We've got a few more minutes here. I'm going to get the music back up. I just dumped it and I need to get it back. So when I'm ready to use it, it'll be there. All right. Did I explain that? I guess I did. What else? Blackbird saying hello to you to 947. Mermaid is leaving. Bye, Mermaid. Nice to have you with us. 949. Ruben just started another 20 long. God bless you, Father Fish. You too, Ruben. Send us pictures. You can post pictures over on Discord as well as short videos. Green Machine Sweden. Most fish consume 20% of the protein in the food and crap out the rest. Good to have in mind when feeding. Absolutely right. In fact, that's a higher number than I've heard. So I hope it is 20%. I've heard 10%. It's limited in any case. Tim Laducour. Tim Laducour. Well, I've lost that quick. There it is. Good morning. Hope you're doing well too. And we're going to turn Tim blue and Ronaldo R9. Hello, Ronaldo. Nice to see you. Great to have you with us. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 new people in a row. Mach 389. For trouble, some fish are to mix art with nature. Can we have some type of setup with all your dirt, sand, plants, and microorganisms in the sump? Really good question, Mach. And yes, you certainly can. And I've done that. And what I found is I wind up doing it in the main tank as well. So it serves, it's like linking tanks together. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. And it works brilliantly. If for some reason you can't have plants, for example, in your main tank, or you've got big fish, and it works best with big fish, create a sump that has all of the plant life and animal life, microscopic life in it, and you're pumping water through it. So it's providing that conditioned water to your big fish who might otherwise have a problem with dirted substrate. Generally, for really big fish, I don't do dirt in the substrate, but I do about 8 inches of substrate, 8 inches of sand. So they'll dig down in it, but not very much. If you're feeding them well, I also keep a lot of rocks and driftwood, a lot of hardscape in my big tanks. And after a while, I start planting plants like big Amazon swords or Sagittarius and get them down in there 3 to 4 inches, pretty deep, and they won't come up. They won't be pulled up. Here's the thing about plants being pulled up. It happens because the fish are biting on them and tugging on them, trying to take a bite out of them, and they're not stable enough in the substrate, so they just get pulled out. If you've got them stable, strong in there, then it's not going to be a problem. Val is calling me. Valerie. Hello, Val. What? Yeah, I'm live online right now. Call me back. Okay, all right. I have some mail from her husband. He's up in Maryland. I need to send it to him. She's calling me with the address. Val is the secretary of our club. Ronaldo R9, sunlight means algae. Daylight means happiness and plant growth. Well, if it's too much, sure. Jesse said, I'm running about 10 minutes behind for my doctor's appointment. Could you stall a little longer, if not a biggie? That was at 9:50. Yeah, sure. We're doing that now, it looks like. We're running over already. So, yeah, not a problem. Let me turn this on so I can see whatever is going to come up. Maybe. Planted tanks. Good morning. Good morning. Red Aquatics playlist. Don't have anything going yet, but working on it. Just kind of keep an eye. We'll promote it once we get there. There are a few videos that are up already. We just haven't put the mechanics of it together yet, but we're working on it. Are you talking about a forum where we can share and upload videos? Sort of. Talking really about a playlist that we can share channel to channel so that viewers on one channel have the benefit of that playlist and then promote it and send that playlist. That's the current idea. Might not be the best, but it's what we're considering right now. The idea being to do collaborations with other YouTubers on given subjects and then create a playlist on that subject that we can then carry around, that we can post on each other's channels. That's maybe a closer estimation of what we're talking about. I think I understand it. I'm not sure I always do. Salvinia minima is a perfect waste eater. Do you ever use drifting plants to suck up nitrate? I do, but I don't like them much. Mainly because they block the light. I mean, I got duckweed in nearly all my things, and I'm forever pulling it out. Need to get some goldfish to eat it and get rid of it once and for all. Just a guy experimenting. Well, hello. Nice to have you with us. You've come to the right place. We're a bunch of experimenters here. Happy to have you with us. Psychedelic Hippocampus. Hello. Nice to see you. Bryant Williams. Looks like the 10 o'clock crowd is coming in. I guess we'll hang out a while. Jesse wanted us to do so we'll just stay here a little bit longer. Mach 389, thanks for all your great info. Very welcome. PHS, Fix Fish. When you add leaf litter from a local pond, wouldn't the microorganism die in our tap? Only if there's chlorine in it. It's amazing how, let's see, how can we explain this? If the only time that happens is if you're taking an animal that's living in very hard alkaline water and dumping it into very soft acid water. And what happens there is actually rather horrifying. You've changed the barometric pressure of the water from a higher pressure to a lower pressure. And here's what happens. You take that fish that's in 8.0 pH, you put them in 6.0, and there's less pressure. So what happens? The cell walls of the fish expand to balance the internal pressure with the external pressure. The internal pressure that has developed in that cell in the 8.0 water tries to balance with the much lower pressure in that low pH water, and it causes cell wall rupture. What does that do? It kills the fish. You'll see them spiraling. It's a dreadful thing to happen. And that's what it is. You can acclimate very slowly, give them a chance to stabilize, but the truth is, if you're going to acclimate a fish that's in hard alkaline water to soft acid water, it should take upwards of a week to do that. It doesn't happen in an hour or two. It takes a much longer period of time. Now, one more thing while I'm on this. In a large body of water, there may be thermoclines, stratas of water that have different pH at different stratas. The fish will go into one and will stay in one that's appropriate for its condition. If it wants to go into another, it'll do it more gradually or go down and come back if it's uncomfortable, gradually acclimating to it. So it's got options. In your tank, it has no options. It's basically screwed with whatever you get. So, Ronaldo R9, about the Salvini. I use round-shaped tubes. 4 to let the light in works perfect. Just an air tube connected in a circle. Oh, right. So it just floats that on the top. Yeah, I've seen that. Who is it? Foo the flower horn does that. It's really clever and effective. Blackbirds posted a new video. We'll have to go look at it. Check out Blackbird's new video. We at the bottom. We are at the bottom. Well, Jess, I don't see anything here. Jess, here we go. All right. You could go a little bit longer. Oh, okay. All right. She's just running a little late. She wants me to hold the audience for her. Happy to do so. And we're about there. Let me tell you what I'll do. I will jump over and see if she's up yet. Whoops. Let's see. Did we do? Don't see her yet. Oh, here we are. Let's see if she's there. Maybe. No, 2 minutes. Jess will be there in 2 minutes. We'll just hang out until she gets there. Let's see. Let me get back to you all. So that's the answer to the microorganism thing. If it's basically the same pH water, basically the same hardness, which is likely to be the case. Now, let me say one more thing. If you go from soft acid water to hard water, no harm done. It's not a problem. It compresses the cell wall, but it balances out pretty quickly. It can compress without destroying it. When it expands, it'll stretch it to the point of tearing, of rupturing. Compressing won't do that. Maybe a little uncomfortable, but it'll balance itself out and be fine. So, no, it's not a problem. Just be sure you don't have any chlorine in that water or chloramines. And if you're going to do this with a jar, get the water, use the water in your fish tank. If you're putting it in your fish tank, then that tank has got balanced, a stable, healthy water in it. It's not like your tap anymore. It's not raw. It's got life in it already. Let's see. She said she made it home. Thank you, Jesse. Okay, and we're down to it. Blackbird likes my shirt. Thank you so much. All right, I think we're done. Great to be with you all. Come on over to Discord. We can continue this conversation there. Hang on and plug in with Jessie. She is live right now. You want to see her? There she is, right there. Hi, Jess. Nice to see you. She doesn't know we're there, but we know she's there. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna tune out here and see you all. I'll be back Wednesday morning. See you Wednesday morning. Nice to be here. Great to have you with us. See you over in Discord. Got a couple of fun videos coming up I think you might enjoy. Let's see if we can find a tune to play. Have I got it? I got it. I had it and lost it. Oh, here we go. Thank you.